Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be talking about structure of plasma membrane and its functions. If you want this video in Hindi, you can visit my Physiology Hacks channel where you can visit the playlist. And in this video, we'll be talking about plasma membrane, its function, its composition. Okay, so let's get started. So we are going to also see how you will be performing the answer in exam. Okay, so let's start. So plasma membrane, it's 7 to 10 nanometer thick, 50 to 55% composition. It consists of proteins, 40 to 45% fats and 5% carbohydrate. If you see composition, we have to now explain which type of fats are present, what are these functions of fats, then which type of proteins are present, and again function of proteins. So let's start with fat first. Okay, so this fluid mosaic model in 1972 was given by Singer and Nicholson, and the fats in plasma membrane, you have to just enlist the names. So some names are, the major part is phospholipids. Okay, otherwise they are glycolipids, they are cholesterol, which is responsible for fluid mosaic property of the plasma membrane, and triglycerides. Okay, so the first most important part which you can't skip is phospholipid. Okay, phospholipid, if you see, basically what happens is phosphate part of glycerol is hydrophilic polar end, right? So if you assume this is glycerol and we have fatty acids attached to glycerol and phosphate group attached to glycerol, if you remember how the glycerol is formed, so there'll be like 3 carbon and one here phosphate is attached and here fatty acids are attached, right? So if we talk about these two ends, right, these two ends become like this, and this phosphate group is, it become like this. So if you, this is a structure in which this is head end, okay, and this is tail end, and the head is basically water loving and tail is basically water hating, or basically hydrophobic. So whenever there is cell, there is cytoplasm everywhere, right? So towards cytoplasm, there will be always hydrophilic end, right? And hydrophobic towards center, and again hydrophobic towards center and hydrophilic outside. So here we have extracellular fluid and here we have intracellular fluid. So toward both the fluid, we have water loving part, the polar end, okay? And that's how this plasma membrane is being arranged like this. So that's why this is making bilayer. Now you got it, what is phospholipid and how it's arranged. Okay, so basically phosphate part of glycerol is hydrophilic polar end, this one, right? And this tail is fatty acids attached to glycerol. These are hydrophobic or tail end, right? Now you got it, what is this lipid bilayer, right? So hydrophilic polar ends are arranged outside toward extracellular fluid and toward intracellular fluid both, right? And hydrophobic at center. Okay, that's how lipid bilayer is formed. So you have to explain in the same way. You can write in the same way whenever being asked in your examination. Then the arrangement of phospholipid in outer leaflet, here, for example, this is, here we have extracellular fluid, here we have intracellular fluid. So this will be outer leaflet, this will be inner leaflet. So what we are explaining here is basically the phospholipid, the type of phospholipid, the varieties of phospholipid, they basically change where this cell exists based on different functions. For example, outside, major phospholipid outside present are sphingolipids and sphingomyelin. Inner side is most importantly phosphatidyl inositol and phosphatidyl ethanolamine, phosphatidyl serine. Why? Because these proteins are basically those transmembrane proteins, those phospholipids. These phospholipids are basically acting as signal transduction pathway. So these are basically activating some other enzymes, okay, or some other proteins to do some processes, okay. And this is, for example, sphingomyelin. This is responsible for myelin synthesis, so it will be more in CNS, right? So that's how basically the arrangement outside and inner leaflet, they are not same, and they also change whenever required depending on site, which cell we are talking about, right? For example, sphingomyelin is high in neurons for myelin synthesis. Phosphatidyl inositol increases wherever GPCR IP3DA gene signaling occur. This will be explaining in detail later on. what is basically signal transduction, and this is one type of signal transduction, that is IP3 DAG pathway. Okay, so there we need this IP3. Fine, so that's how wherever function is needed, their quantity varies. In fats, you can't skip cholesterol also, because cholesterol is basically the collection in between this bilayer present over there. For example, this is cholesterol, and this cholesterol is basically responsible for gel-like structure of membrane, and that's why we call fluidity of membrane, right? And as cholesterol collections, there are lipid rafts also present, which basically act as some depression over the cell membrane, and they act as receptors. Okay. So this is all about fats in brief. Now let's come to proteins. So proteins are the major composition, and obviously the percentage is highest, right? So proteins can be of two types. If you generally see, there are some proteins which are traveling throughout the membrane from inside to outside, or vice versa, and there are some proteins which are present either on one side, right, either on extracellular surface or toward intracellular surface, right? So those proteins which are just traveling through whole membrane, they are transmembrane proteins, and which are not traveling through completely, okay, those are peripheral proteins. Now they can be exterior, they can be interior, anyway they are peripheral proteins, right? So transmembrane protein, so this is a complete structure of this plasma membrane. You can explain that these are the cholesterol, this is cholesterol, this is transmembrane protein, this is transmembrane protein, this one and this one are peripheral protein, right? And this whole is lipid bilayer. Now I hope this structure is crystal clear to you, all of you. Now what we will be explaining in transmembrane and peripheral protein. Okay, so peripheral protein first, they are present on either extracellular surface or intracellular, as we have seen in this structure. So what they basically act as, they act as enzyme. So there are various signal during, various, for example, a hormone is acting on the membrane, and it's basically going to produce various protein in our body for various functions, right? So these proteins, basically the peripheral proteins, they act as enzyme here. For example, this protein. Okay, so we have seen the GPCR mediated signal transduction. So there is a transmembrane protein which is G coupled protein receptor, which is going to, whenever a ligand bind on that, it is going to activate some other proteins present here. Those are enzymes basically, right? So they act as enzyme. So peripheral proteins, they act as enzyme. Okay, on exterior surface, they act as on surface protein, they act as cell adhesion molecule. For example, there are two cells, okay, where if you have seen immunity, there are two cells. For example, this is antigen presenting cell, and we have a T cell also, T helper cell, right? So whenever these two cells for immunity, they basically interact with each other, there are various adhesion proteins are responsible for their action, right? So these are also in the membrane, okay? So which type of protein it will be? It will be peripheral protein, which is acting as cell adhesion molecule to basically have an interaction, right, for respective function. Fine. So what else we can write here? They act as cell surface, they act as receptors, okay? And if we talk about RBC, on surface of RBC we have various antigens, because of that we can estimate our blood group, okay? So these are some functions of peripheral protein which you can write in your examinations and perform best, okay? Then comes this transmembrane protein, which have various functions, okay? So they present throughout the membrane, facing both the surfaces, extracellular and cytoplasmic both, right? They act as channels. There are various channels for various ions, sodium, potassium channel, calcium channel, right? So those channels are nothing but they are transmembrane proteins, right? They act as carrier. For example, for passive transport, we need some carrier. For example, glucose transport, protein transport, amino acid transport, right? So we need some carrier. So they are also transmembrane proteins. There are various receptors for neurotransmitter hormone. For example, acetylcholine, very common receptor for parasympathetic transmission. So they basically act on some ligand. They are ligand for some receptor, which is acetylcholine receptor. Have you heard about nicotinic acetylcholine receptor on the muscle, right? So these are acting as a receptor for those action, and they are transmembrane protein. Then comes carbohydrate, which you don't have to explain much, but there are some, wherever glucose is basically carbohydrate molecule is added to lipids, it's glycolipid. To proteins, it's glycoproteins. So as glycocalyx, for example, it prevent outward movement of negative charged particle and it acts as receptors. So there are various receptors. And have you heard glycocalyx is also responsible for prevent penetration of all the bacteria in stomach, for example. They act as receptors, right? They have tight fixation of cell to basically make the integrity part. Okay, so these are responsible. Next, so we have basically studied all three components of cell membrane. Just to summarize, what are functions of cell membrane? Sometimes it's just being asked directly that what are functions of cell membrane. So you can explain that part as well, or you can directly just list down all the functions. Okay, so cell membrane basically protect from external environment. It provides shape to cell. It maintain the ionic composition of intracellular fluid separately, right? Intracellular composition differs from extracellular, and it's because of obviously that the membrane between them, right? So it provides enzymes for various signal transduction pathway, as we have seen, right? They act as media for various substances like drugs, nutrients to enter the cell via various channels and receptors using proteins, and it hold all the cell organelles and maintain the integrity of wall. So that's all about cell membrane, the structure and function briefly. I hope you liked this video. If you have any query, you can comment below. Thanks for watching, guys. Good luck.